Remember when chalk paint was everywhere? There was a time when you couldn't walk into a thrift store, or a furniture shop, or even a DIY blog without seeing chalk painted pieces in every color of the rainbow. So what the heck happened? Why did it go from being this ultimate furniture paint to practically disappearing overnight? Let's take a look at the rise and the fall of chalk paint. So let's start with the basics. Chalk paint came onto the scene in a big way in the early 2010s thanks to a brand called Annie Sloan. They launched this product that was marketed as a total game changer for furniture flipping and DIY projects. The main appeal was that it required little to no sanding, no priming, and could be applied to pretty much any surface. Seriously, people were putting this stuff on metal, fabric, laminate, anything. And it was really forgiving too. Chalk paint gave this soft, matte, vintage look that people loved. Plus, you could distress it super easily for that farmhouse shabby chic vibe that was really trending hard at the time. It was like every Pinterest board was filled with these transformations that looked amazing and seemed really doable. So what happened? Part of what made chalk paint so popular was the DIY and social media craze that really took off in the 2010s. Platforms like Pinterest and Instagram were full of chalk paint projects, and people could share those before and after transformation photos, and it looked super professional, even if they were done at home. Chalk paint then became this Instagrammable product because it was easy for beginners to work with and it gave really photogenic results. But as the hype around DIY decor shifted, so did the demand for chalk paint. Here's the thing, chalk paint has a few downsides. First, it's actually kind of pricey, especially if you're going to go with big name brands. A quart of chalk paint could easily run you 30 or 40 bucks. For large projects or multiple pieces, that's going to add up quickly. Another issue is durability. Chalk paint requires a wax or a top coat to seal it properly, and even then, it's not always as tough as people expected. For furniture that gets a lot of use, like kitchen tables, cabinets, or anything outside, it didn't always hold up as well as kind of people had hoped for. Those beautiful pieces might start showing some of that wear and tear faster than they anticipated. Another reason chalk paint lost its grip on the DIY world is the rise of other techniques. People started experimenting with spray paint for a cleaner, sleeker finish. Gel stains, mineral paints also became popular for offering more durable options without the hassle of waxing or sealing. And with those alternatives, DIYers had more choices for styles that didn't require the same level of maintenance. That's part of why we don't see chalk paint as much in the latest furniture flips or upcycle projects. And it wasn't just the maintenance. Trends started changing too, and by the late 2010s, well, shabby chic, that look had started to kind of fade and people were gravitating toward other styles. Modern, industrial, mid-century modern was making a comeback. So chalk paint didn't just quite fit in quite as well with those newer aesthetics, and so it slowly started disappearing from the projects and from the shelves. Now, that doesn't mean that chalk paint is gone forever. There are still artists and DIYers who swear by it. But it's definitely no longer the go-to for every project, and it's been replaced in popularity by things like milk paint, mineral paint, and other furniture paint types that often just provide more durability and sometimes even more color options. If you're into the DIY furniture thing though, there's no harm in giving chalk paint a try, especially if you love that matte vintage look. But it's also worth knowing the pros and the cons and what to expect. For us personally, that's actually how we got into a lot of our woodworking. Was 10 or 12 years ago, we started using a lot of chalk paint on furniture that we either built or that we refinished because of that low barrier to entry. So we highly recommend that for somebody that's starting out. Another thing too is just simply how as we go along our process, as we go along our journey, whenever we're building, we're creating, we're making, whatever we're doing, sometimes we just want to slowly up our game and get a little bit better. It's just very natural. It's very normal that we do that sometimes. I do that whether it's joinery techniques on things that I'm building, but it's also something that we did over time when it came to how we painted things. There are still things in my house, still to this day, that are painted with chalk paint, and they're doing just fine, and we don't hate them. We didn't throw them away. We didn't burn them. They're still pieces that we love. But there are also a lot of pieces now that we no longer use that way and we use a sprayer for. So that's just another part of it, is that as time goes by, our knowledge and our skills and our game, we want to kind of up it and we want to get better at everything that we do. So there you have it. The rise and the fall and, well, the steady simmer of chalk paint. And if you were around during its heyday, you know what a big deal it was. And even though it's not quite as big a deal anymore, it did a huge service for a lot of us, from getting us to where we were to where we are now. We'll catch you next time.